Okay, so here we go. Part three. All right, so in this step, we're going to hook up our segues. All right, so again, a segue is what's going to make us be able to move from this screen to the next or to the next view controller. So to do this, not too difficult. All right, but let's go through the steps here. So we're going to start first with the pass button. Okay, and then the first thing, very simple, we're going to hold control. We're going to drag from past to the next view. It'll kind of lighten up there, like our highlight that we've selected. We're going to let go. We're given different options. So basically, we need to choose what kind of action segue do we want. So what we're going to do, so now these below here are deprecated, meaning they no longer are really in use. So we're going to use this top one called a show segue. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And when you do that, you'll notice that we have an arrow put in here that's going to basically signifies we have a segue active. Okay, so now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to give it a segue identifier. So we're going to click on this arrow in the middle that highlights blue, go to our attribute inspector. We're going to give this an identifier of past. Oh, I need to learn how to spell there. Past. There we go. So reason why we're going to use this will become a little more clear in our next couple videos, but basically it's just, as the name suggests, it's a way to identify this the segue, and it helps us do some different things with our code. But before we go any further, let's go ahead and give this app and run here. We should have done that sooner just to test things out, but let's run it. Let's see how that segue looks right now when things are going. There we go. Okay, so it loads up. Scroll up here. So when I click past, you can see my app moves to this next view. And the nice thing when you use the navigation control feature, you get this nice convenient back feature where I can go back to the home page with a nice kind of professional looking menu. Bar option. So you can see our segue is working. We're able to go back and forth. When you click future, nothing's happened because we did not set that up. Okay, so again, I click past. Eventually we'll get some information on this next view, but you can see the segue is up here, so we're able to transition between the two views pretty nicely. Okay, so let's go ahead and back into our app. So now again, to hook up our second view, or our second segue, again, we just control, we drag. All right, we're going to click on show. All right, we get our second arrow. So now again, to make sure, well, which one's which, it's kind of nice when you click on the segue, you'll notice that the button highlights so you can match it up. So again, with our identifier, this one we already have past in place. For this one, we want to come here. We'll just go ahead and give this the identifier of future. Again, that'll make, we'll talk about why we need that when we get our segues going. But again, it's just, you can see we have more than one segue. So we need identifiers in place to be able to just identify between the two when we call them in our code and want to, make some different things happen. Okay, so now at this point when we run the app, we should have two active working segues. So make sure you do this before you move on. Again, we don't want to go any further and find out later that your segues are not working. So please run the app. I know it takes a while for the simulator to load in the class, but just bear with it. Very important we do that. And make sure that when you click on future and past, you're getting two segues. Again, going to a similar screen, but we're going to change that, and that's why we're going to have different options when we click on past and future. It'll also tie back into those pictures we used before. Okay, so we're going to stop this screencast at this point. All right, again, just keeping things just kind of manageable at this point. Again, questions, make sure you're asking. But again, so far, if you're plugging along with these with no issues, great job. Keep it up, and then we'll see you back in the next video.